Get everything that Hollywood has poisoned your brain with over the years through movies and paranormal investigation shows. The creepy music and the spooky settings, forget it. All you need to know moving forward is the paranormal truth. It's always hard to wrap your brain around something unusual, abnormal, paranormal, ghosts, spirits. Do they exist in some form of residual energy? Or is it something that can be interactive?
I'm going in here, okay. Interesting.
Now you throw in mediums. They are the people that can talk to dear old dead Auntie Pam for you, and your brain is ready to explode. You either do believe or you don't. Or maybe you keep an open mind.
Over the past several years, the TV shows, radio shows, the conventions, and these different things, people are a lot more open talking today about their experiences, what they've gone through or a family member has gone through. So it's something I look at as it's a double-edged sword. You know, it's very controversial, and it gets very difficult watching what a lot of people go through, you know, when they decide to go public on these things. But on the other hand, they're reaching out, they're sharing their information and trying to help people to understand, you know, I went through this, my family went through this.
Rise Up Paranormal usually flies solo with their own crew, but sometimes for the betterment of the investigation, they like to have a little spiritual edge. That is where spirit medium Tiffany Rice comes into the game.
They like to kind of bring me in, see if I can connect the emotional side and to the evidential side, which is what they work on. They work on the scientific part, and I bring up the emotional part. So if I can make that connection of maybe a spirit that is still there, if I can connect it with maybe people that are residing in that location, that kind of helps too. Whether or not they're related, it doesn't matter.
And they don't usually tell you what they found. They just go and they have you get your feel and try and
Yeah, it's pretty funny because it's one of those things where it's like, Tiff, we got a case for you, and if you can just meet us here, we'll bring you. And so they'll pick me up at a neutral location, and then they bring me.
Welcome to the Assembly Theater in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Its location is in the Harrisville Historic District, a designation conferred by the National Park Service. This theater was built in 1933 by local philanthropist Austin Levy. It provided theater troupes and visitors a safe venue, which replaced another one that Levy said was too dangerous.
People couldn't understand why he was putting so much into it, but it was because of the safety of his people that he employed in the mill. And he wanted a place where he could come in and relax with something that he liked to do. And he liked to come to live performances.
Any place that has been deemed haunted is going to have believers and non-believers. Kind of like politics. But let's face it, ghosts are not as scary as some of the people serving in public office.
I've been in here trying to build sets. And I've been in here all by myself. And I've been in here at 2 o'clock in the morning. And around, I've been downstairs working around. Never have seen anything unusual.
I feel there is a presence. I don't know whether you want to call it haunted, but there is definitely a feeling here. For me, it's a very good, a very positive feeling.
Not really, and I've been here until they lock up, and I never heard anything out of the ordinary.
I've definitely heard noises that I can't account for. When I'm here alone, I've gotten out of the corner of my eye with something that looks like movement. I will go to happy thoughts at that point.
Unlike those goofy TV shows, a real paranormal investigation starts with some necessary background work into the history of the place. For Rise Up, that also includes some geography.
Let's take a walk up to where we think the mill would have been and try to determine what this was. So you got to consider that you got a waterfall. We know that.
Yes.
Mill's going to use that.
You got the map, Chris? Yeah.
So if we're looking at the building across the street, that probably was a mill.
That was the woolen mill. Steve and Tindham.
You said steer, right?
Yes, steer.
All right, that's common. That's a common name up here.
We're looking this way.
Right. So we're standing in the footprint of a mill at this point.
According to the map, and there was a building right across the other side.
Okay.
And it's S&G Mill. That's all I got.
The S&G mill would be on this footprint. It wouldn't encroach on the theater at all, right?
No, if you look at the whole map,
Looks like that's all too new, Chris.
is it right next to the water? Right next to the water.
And the gate is all new. Way too new for what
If
that
we're kind of
was.
looking at that at scale, pretty big mill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's all open.
it's
That's new right there.
So, but this, all that, I mean, again, we're
That
looking
could be
at
modified.
We're looking at this footprint. Yeah, exactly.
because I have another map from 1895 where the mill looks like in a different spot and smaller.
Okay. Where the theater was would probably be dwellings, right? Residences.
Yeah, you can actually see that line of houses. You can see it in both maps.
So maybe we assume if it's row houses that you were looking at
Tenement,
housing,
housing, mill housing.
because that's usually the way it is. Everybody within walking distance of a mill. That's where 3 tenements started in New Bedford, Fall River, places like that.
But there could
Many-
be storage too. I mean,
Possibly. This right here is the corner lot, though. That's where the town offices are.
that's where the town office. That was
That's what we're
empty,
looking at. That was empty.
except in 1895. There's a library.
Okay,
there.
now this is all starting to make sense because when that building came down, that was town offices / theater, they built a new one. So if that's an empty piece of land.
Actually, it says town clerk office in
right.
1895.
So that would have been perfect.
So somewhere between 1875 and 1895, the library and the town clerk's office gets built on that lot.
Right.
The church is there in 1895. Theater's not, but that row of houses is still there, or dependency buildings,
Or dependency buildings.
or whatever you want to say. And the mill was somewhere over here. And it was one on the other side.
You know, we have that curiosity going back to these places and trying to determine, you know, what were the origins of this place. So it's kind of like a learning experience for us too. I'm not saying that it plays into the paranormal angle, but it might. You know, if there was a mill or if there was a farm on this property, it might lead us in a direction. When we're doing EVP work or something like that, to be, you know, more specific about what it is that we're trying to get across or what we're trying to get back from whomever might be interested in sending a message to us. But a lot of times we like to learn just academically for ourselves. We like to learn a little bit more about a town because we go to these places
It shows
and
that too.
that's part of the fun
Different, 'cause that's a
that
good
we
thing.
normally wouldn't go to. So we learn about, you know, what happened in this town, who ran the town, you know, did anything happen here politically or socially that made an impact on the town. So all of those things come into play. We're gonna go with 3, right?
Yes.
Projection room looking over the theater. We'll go one on first in the theater at an angle so the IRs don't bump.
Yep.
And the last one shooting down the hallway because once we go into the dressing rooms, that'll be handheld stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, if you want to add a 4th somewhere,
Yeah, once we get all, then we'll kind of see.
you know, I'm open for ideas.
For this investigation, Rise Up has more team members and equipment. There are IR cameras that have been added to the voice recorders
We'll get
and
slapped
other
later.
electromagnetic field equipment.
Do this, take 2 functioning millimeters with you.
I have
You have a camera. You've got a recorder upstairs.
Yep.
Just monitor EMF and temperature up there.
Before the investigation begins, Rise Up brings out one more piece of equipment for a walkthrough. Tiffany.
I can't really say that I know all that much about the theater, so we're going to kind of learn together
Okay.
on this. So we can go ahead and let you do your thing.
Have you noticed, because what I'm feeling in here is, I'm feeling a man, and I know this is the female dressing room, but I kind of feel like a man's been following me since I got here, and he's very flirtatious, okay? He likes to be part of, I feel like a lot of men don't get him, but I feel like a lot of females get him.
Yeah.
Meaning there's a lot of more females experience him rather than males. Okay? And he keeps on telling me pinch and a tickle.
What is it?
Pinch and a tickle.
Pinch and a tickle?
Pinch and a tickle. Like he's flirting. He is flirting. I don't feel like he's anything negative, but I just feel like he's definitely flirting. But I don't feel like there's a lot of activity in this area right over here. I just feel like he's with me and he's following me around. I feel like we need to go over in that direction.
Is this something that typically females who come in here might say, that there's kind of like they're not alone, they're being followed
right,
around?
They might actually have...
Would it be unusual for somebody to say, I felt like
someone was watching me? It wouldn't be unusual at all, because that's the feeling that I have. I feel like he's right here with us.
Yeah,
so,
but not necessarily touched or anything like that, like inappropriately.
No, not in, I know I said pinch and tickle.
Like that, right? Well, you can pinch and
but
tickle,
it's just him kind of being
almost
like the little womanizer that he is.
Yeah,
okay, but it's all innocent. It's nothing that's negative. I don't feel actually anything negative in this location as of yet.
Or do you get any kind of vivid picture of him, like in terms of describing what he looks like?
I see him as being a younger male, probably either late 20s, early 30s, blonde. And I also see him with wavy blonde hair. And he has dashing blue eyes.
Okay. Time frame? Contemporary, or are we going...
The first number I heard, I don't know if this is 1922. I don't know if you know anything about when the building was built or anything like that. Okay, so I feel like, because I'm hearing 1922, so I don't know if this happened before the building was here and I'm getting him and he's just been here since, or if the building was already here prior to that date.
What I can tell you is that 1922 predates this building.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Because I keep on seeing...
There was something here that predated that, but you're going back...
prior. Okay, which is fine. Again, I have no control of who comes through or from what time frame. Okay. So even though we are here in the building, he's just telling me 1922. I just want to acknowledge the name Lenny.
Lenny? Okay. I want to make sure we get all these names, obviously. Because,
right, Lenny. And it's just so hard because there's so much from then to here, so.
Well, we're lucky because we have people here that are so connected to the theater that we might be able to get that answer, like, quick.
All right, so we're gonna keep on going?
Sure.
All right. So let's go down this way.
Yep, you lead on.
All right. So it's a little bit of a different vibe in here. I feel more comfortable in that room than I do this room.
Okay, yeah. Obviously the men's dressing room, because it says men over the top of the
right, absolutely. Well, that just says dressing room, but I feel a lot more comfortable in here than I do, a lot less comfortable in here than I do in there.
Now, why would that be?
I don't know.
Is it just...
It's just almost a feeling like I'm not welcome, like, oh yeah, in the wrong dressing room, that type.
Okay.
Was this, and I know you have limited information on this building too, however, Was this at one point just an all-male theater? Maybe when they first opened?
I honestly would not know. I honestly would not know.
Or did they try to make it an all-male theater?
I would not think so.
Okay.
Because if you're looking at the time frames on this, way back, of course, men would always play women's roles.
Right.
But we're going back to the days of Shakespeare.
Right.
We're going way back where
So times have
women weren't in
changed.
theater, men would play their roles. But this is much more contemporary.
Next up was the projector room and storage area with Cody.
I want to acknowledge the name Lou, or Lou. I know I brought up Lenny before, but I feel like Lou. I keep on hearing Lou.
Do you know what any of them are doing?
Again, I feel like they're just like getting ready for the next showing.
Yep. How many people would you say that are up here?
Well, it's funny because I know there's 5 of us here, but I also want to acknowledge the number 5 as well.
Okay.
But not all at once. It's different. It's different, different times. Even when they had 3 people up here, I'm being told it's too crowded. It's too crowded. Also, another name comes to mind is Henry or Hank. And he's the one who's telling me, he's like, nope, he said it was always just 2, never 3. There was never supposed to be 3 people up here at the same time, only 2 people.
That's interesting.
So I don't know if he is, if he usually runs the show, if he was one of the managers.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you feel like any certain presence attached to anything in the room?
Good question. The only thing that, as far as an object and having the attachment, I think it's just all the objects and having the same person coming through being like, okay, this is my place, this is my business, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like a routine.
It's just routine.
Every time
unaware
they had a show,
of, exactly.
They would do the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
don't be late. That's the biggest thing, is don't be late.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, in here it's different energy from the other 2 places that I've been to. So this might sound a little funny, but I'm kind of getting a sense of a female coming in here frequently.
Right. Okay. And now, just to go back for a second, you said that this was a different energy from
Different energy.
the level that we were just on.
The
right?
level that we were on was
So
busy,
different
busy, busy.
people. Okay.
Almost different people.
All right. And so this female that you're sensing is attached to these people.
Right, and I
And
don't
not
feel like
those.
she's supposed to be here.
All
I think she's, don't let them know I'm up here.
Okay.
That type of female. Okay.
Really interesting. All right.
And I don't know if anybody's experienced, because she's just laughing. It's a
Okay.
good laugh. It's nothing negative, but she's just like, that type of laugh, like, la, la, la.
Having fun.
And she's telling me that she used to sing here as well.
All right. So yeah, could have been a performance, a live performance, something like that. Are you getting a certain time frame of when this would have been?
Well, I can tell you what she looks like to me.
All right.
Colored blonde hair.
All right.
Okay, and to me it's bigger than my hair today, but it's big, so to me it almost looks like it's like a beehive style.
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah, early
70s,
Yeah.
probably 70s, around that time, 70s, 80s.
The last spot where Tiffany conducted a walkthrough before leaving for the night was the stage area.
And do you know if they're currently trying to get theater back into the theater, or is it just strictly church right now?
No, I think they want to do more of presentations and more
They're
theater
trying to-
work itself, yes,
Okay,
absolutely,
because-
yeah. Productions, yep.
Okay, because that's what I'm being shown,
Yeah.
is that right now they're just, and it could be, who's telling me this information. It could very well just be people that have worked here and people that care about the building. But they're showing me that the group that runs this facility now is trying to bring in new productions and bring in actual live theater again.
Yes.
And even though this place looks magnificent, there's still a lot of repair work that needs to be done. And even right here, it's a very light energy. I don't feel anything negative. I just feel like the feeling that I have right now is feeling support. I feel a lot of support, and I think it has to do with probably the patrons in the community. Did I say patrons? There's a mix of patrons and patriots. So the patrons of the community and so forth, I think that they're going to be putting everything together very well, and that they support the fact that there's going to be more plays in production.
Yeah, I know they've been working very hard for that, so that's good to know, yes.
And usually the information that I get, again, I have no control of who comes through or for how long, but it's usually information that's needed to hear, hopefully in the right hands of the right people. And again, I want to just talk about the energy, because usually if I go to a theater or something, there's always something that draws me that might be something negative, but I'm feeling very positive vibes here. And it's just such a family-oriented
They're
theater.
happy with the progress,
Yeah.
happy with the work. Good.
Yep, absolutely.
After Tiffany leaves, Ken, Steve, and Chris head back down to the basement of the theater to conduct EVP sessions. They are also setting up one of their own cameras to watch the K2 meter, and they placed a tri-field close by, so if there is a radio frequency of any kind, they can just ignore it.
Let's see. If the atmosphere outside is that charged, that registers on that. And I'm recording. Okay. We're good? Okay. All right, EVP session. This is Ken. I am with Steve. I am with Chris. And I'm with our crew down here in the ladies' dressing room at the Assembly Theater. It is Saturday, September 6, 2014. And we're going to begin an EVP session down here right now. If there's anyone in here who'd like to speak to us, it's not our first visit here. And I do recall the last time that I was in this room, I clearly heard a woman's voice at one point while we were trying to establish some communication. So we're going to invite you to do that again, if it's possible. We really have come here to pay our respects to the theater and anyone who might be here with us for whatever your reasons are. So if you could make your presence known either by speaking to us or by way of a sound or a touch or whatever you choose, if there's a message that you'd like to send or something you'd like to say, we're here to give you that opportunity right now. Okay, my name is Ken, and as I said, we've all been here before. We find the theater a fascinating place, and we'd like to know more about it and more about you. So you're welcome to speak whenever you'd like to.
Just wanted to introduce myself, let you know that we're here to communicate with you. It's probably strange, you probably really haven't had this before. I know it's probably going to take a little bit of trust for you to come in here and talk with us. I hope you get that trust and able to join us. Do something for us just so we know you're here. Speak with us, tell us your story, whatever you can.
Specifically, I know that from a personal sense, I would love to be able to speak with either of the Levys, Austin or Jane. If you're still here in this place that meant so much to you, which you gave to this town, It would be wonderful to hear from you. And the people that are running this theater now and still keep it alive would love to hear from you. All are welcome here. Anyone who might be here, man, woman, child. Anyone who may have acted here that the theater meant so much to you. Oftentimes people stay with what they love, and the theater is one of those places where people get to play roles, big personalities, applause from the crowd, the acceptance from your friends. So many reasons why theaters like this are a haven for people who have the ability to remain here at a place that they love. We understand that.
I would love to know what production you were part of, if you could tell us.
How about your name? Could you yell it as loud as you can? Even if you think we won't hear it. Even if you've tried it and for other people, just yell it as loud as you can. Are you with us? I mean, we felt like you were in the room. Are you still around with us? Can you just let us know you're listening to us somehow?
Is there anything in here that's easy enough for you to move? Anything at all? Nice.
That was my stomach.
Nice. Demon!
Excellent.
Demon!
Where's the exit?
Just my stomach.
That was great.
Demon!
Stomach.
That's awesome.
How about this, if you are the actress that we thought we heard,
Don't stop for me, Steve. Go.
if you're the actress that we thought we heard, and you don't approve all the men being in the dressing room here, how about you knock on the door in the men's room? If you don't want to sit here.
That's right. Should we even be in here?
Good question.
If not, give us a knock down there. We'll move it to the men's room if you'd rather not be in there.
Even though there was no request for Rise Up to move on, they did head down the hall to the men's dressing room. After they set up, they didn't have to wait long for potential evidence.
You heard our conversations before. Is this a better place for you to communicate? Are you with us in here? Can you let us know?
What was that?
I heard her voice.
Yeah? Oh, no, it was over there. That's.
I heard
Was that you before that, Cody?
About moving here.
Well, I'm glad
we're moving in here.
I heard it audibly.
Yeah, and then they said yes.
So I'm glad you're with us.
Okay.
If that's you.
I'm over here.
Yeah, that was right over here, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So this is a better place for us. Is this a better place for you to kind of show off for us? Try some stuff out? Impress us, let us know you're here.
If you're attached to this building, if you're attached to this theater, very simply, yes or no. Are you satisfied with the condition of the theater right now and how it's being run? So we're trying to establish a relationship here. And if there's anyone here, such as yourself, we want to establish that relationship with you as well. So you know when we're here, we have nothing but the best intentions. Okay? So are we clear on that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sounded like another one up there, yeah.
Yeah, I heard. There's more than just a single, like, yes or something. You know, and you do know that we don't want you to leave. We're not here to
That was cool.
get you to leave, right?
Hope we got it.
Yeah, it sounded like two
Hope we got it. That was cool.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that we're not here to get you to leave?
You get that feeling again, it's just like... It seems to me that there's something about this hallway. Is there any way that I could convince you to come into this room? Siren outside.
Did you hear the banging?
There's a bang and there was like a flash of light.
Kind of let that go away first.
The bang was first, and then there was like a little burst of light in there.
It's not a reflection off that mirror from a camera, is it? Behind,
The door's blocking it here.
behind you.
Are you trying to light in the mirror? See, it's now, it doesn't go.
There's no way.
No, I know you didn't have your light on.
Yeah.
Just,
I haven't heard the bang, but I wasn't looking.
is there any way that I could convince you somehow to come into the room with us right now and actually be with us? I know I'm hearing words from out there, I'm not alone, but it's difficult. Could you somehow make it just a little easier for us? Please. I don't think anyone in this room would have any objection if you're capable of doing it to come over and touch one of us. Make some kind of contact with us. Even if it's a pat on the shoulder, a gentle tug. I'm going to ask you to put some faith in us that you're among friends here.
I don't know if the lasers are changing intensity or what.
It looked like it was blacking out, and I don't know if it's just getting dimmer or.
Every once in a while, I just kind of just feel like something changes there.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Right there.
Lasers get agitated, airflow, so many things. It could be something as simple as, yeah, absolutely. I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You know, quick change up at some point would not hurt the cause either.
After some interesting moments in the men's dressing room, Ken, Steve, and Chris headed back up to base. Now it was time for Cody, Dave, and Julie to head up to the projector room. They were running baseline readings for temperatures when Dave discovered some high EMF readings.
What the heck is over here?
A lot.
Oh, wow. Holy 21, 25, 10. Hey guys downstairs, don't come near these circuit boxes. Sends the Mel crazy. 0.2, 0.1, 0.
With all the electrical power in this small place, Rise Up wanted to make sure they don't get false readings while trying to make contact. Once they were done, they settled in for an EVP investigation.
If anybody's here, my name is Cody. With me is Julie, my friend Dave, and a few of my other friends. We're here to learn about you. We're going to be here for a few hours tonight, just trying to confirm that you're here. We're not trying to, make fun of you in any way. None of our tools that we have or machines that we're using is going to hurt you. We're just here to get a better sense of what's going on for the people and the patrons that are working with the theater. So if anybody is here in the projector room with me, could you please make a noise, show your presence in some way, shape, or form?
If you are here with us, could you come out and show us how to run these projectors? Was it a complicated system to run?
How many people would be up here working these projectors while one movie was playing? Would there be 2 or 3? If you could tell us your name, that would be awesome.
We'd really like to be able to communicate with you, so anything that you can do, noises, knocks, even a voice, if you can somehow muster a voice. You're not going to scare us. This is what we do.
If you were a performer at this theater, could you do something on the stage for us now?
Is that you, Dave?
That wasn't me.
All right.
What was that?
I don't know, that was loud.
You hear the white Cody?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sounded like metal or something.
Sounded heavy.
What in the hell was that?
I don't
There's
see
nothing
anything,
over
do
here.
you?
There's the glass, the shade, a cup, and our cable.
Did any of the wiring get untaped?
No. It's all tied up.
It's all time. What the hell was that?
Well, if that was you, you definitely got our attention.
Hey, you definitely got mine.
If that was you who made that noise, could you please do it again? Make another noise?
Anything out of place.
I don't either, Dave. It definitely sounded heavy and it sounded like it hit, like metal on metal. Hit the ground.
Wow.
I don't see anything.
Okay.
Strange.
What do you want me away from the projectors? Are you afraid I'm going to stop them?
If you want Dave to move, make another noise.
If that was your way of getting our attention, you definitely have it. But you gotta help us out, you gotta do a little more. I know I'm asking a lot, but it's the way we communicate with you.
After that startling bang, Cody, Dave, and Julie thought they heard footsteps, but nothing was caught on audio that could back it up. They also thought they heard some knocks.
You hearing this? I'm hearing a knock or
Right behind you.
it's touching the reels. If that was you, could you do that again? Make a noise?
That wasn't you, Cody.
If you can copy what I do, that would be great. Did you hear that?
I heard one noise.
Yeah.
3. All right.
If that was you answering Cody,
I'm getting a
thank you
chill.
very much, but we need you to do it just a little bit harder so we can confirm it.
It's
I know
me.
it sounds like we're asking you to do parlor tricks and things, but we really need to confirm that you're here with us.
It may take a lot of energy for you to do this. If it does, if you could really just try just this one time to, confirm that you're here. That's what we're here to do, to make sure that you're here. See that you're here. I'm gonna try this again. Please copy what I do when I'm finished. I'm hearing footsteps. Is somebody coming up the stairs? You want to check Julie real quick?
But I definitely heard a confirmation on that.
Yeah, I heard it too, Julie. I'm not even wearing
There's
that.
definitely movement going on. And
Thanks, Chris.
And to confirm, nobody is moving downstairs, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. We heard you if that was you. We heard you. Thank you for that.
That confirmed it for us, so thank you.
The threesome of Cody, Dave, and Julie moved into the back hallway where they thought they heard the footsteps, but nothing came of it. So now it was time to move on to the theater stage.
This is Cody, Dave, and Julie again. We are now in the main stage area. All the seats are up in the auditorium. Julie just checked them, right, Julie? So if a seat is down, it wasn't us. The only seat that's down is the one that Dave's sitting in. There's also a motion detector right on the floor and a little ball right in front of me and in between myself and Julie. If you move that, it will light up. It will also let us know that you're here. So if you are here, if you can hear my voice, could you please make a noise, show yourself, touch one of us?
If you want your story told, you need to tell us so we can pass it on. And that's what we're here for. So don't be afraid. Come and tell us your story of the theater.
If you do tell us, like Dave said, we will make sure that your story is told. Or if you have a question, it's answered.
Is Mr. Levy with us this evening?
You hear that? Heard something again. Heard something again. All right, so right now that noise is coming from where the back stage door is.
Mr. Levy, is that you?
A long time ago, there was a factory on this property. Did you work in the factory? Or maybe did you live in one of the homes that used to be here? Very quiet. A lot different atmosphere than what was up in the projector room. Definitely a difference.
Before Rise Up decided to wrap for the night, Ken and Chris wanted one more shot at the area that brought the most excitement of the night, the projector room. They spent time trying to get responses to their questions and trying to make any kind of contact, but nothing came of it.
Let's take a minute and see what evidence, if any, came out of the investigation at the Assembly Theater.
Unlike the Payne House, where we found several pieces of potential evidence of our own, we only caught one piece that we sent to Ken and Company. We heard a female voice, but due to the other noise in the room, we couldn't make out what was said or even if it was an EVP. Ken said exactly what we did. We'll just have to leave it as a mystery. Rise Up found 4 pieces of their own potential evidence.
This theater, could you do something on the stage for us now?
Hell,
That you, Dave?
that wasn't me. What the hell was that?
I don't know, that was loud.
You hear your light, Cody? Jesus.
Sounded like metal or something.
Sounded heavy.
What in the hell was that?
First off, every camera and audio device in that projector room caught that metallic noise. But Rise Up isn't sure of its origin. Neither were we. The noise couldn't be recreated during the second sweep of the room. Sometimes noises like this one are nothing but a result of the environmental surroundings.
What is that?
I'm hearing something running. Do you hear that?
Sounds like it's
Sounds like machinery. Some
Yeah,
type of
something
machine
sounds
or
like-
motor running.
yeah, that or like a high-pitched humming.
Yeah.
This was an interesting find. It also goes to show you that sound or EVPs, even in the moment, aren't heard exactly as they come out on recordings. What Cody, Dave, and Julie thought was mechanical noises turned out to sound more like music on the recordings.
What is that?
I'm hearing something running. Do you hear that?
Sounds like it's
Sounds like machinery.
Ken said that the music didn't sound contemporary. He also noted that it increased in volume. No other recorders in the building picked it up, which has Ken thinking it could have been music from a passing vehicle outside. This clip is what Ken called very odd. There are 2 parts to it. When Cody and Dave were leaving the projection room and closing doors, the door at the bottom slams shut, and then you hear an unintelligible voice. Then as the door downstairs closes behind them, you hear something else being said. The last clip was heard first by Chris when we were heading down to the dressing rooms. As we passed by the stage, he swore he could hear something. This is what he heard.
Wherever you want.
It works.
Right, I want the cat ball to go off.
Cat ball? You brought the cat ball?
Yeah, it's what it's on. It's on the board.
He heard some little voice. Swear to God. Girl. Like,
Yeah.
just like that.
Wherever you want.
It works.
Right, I want the wherever you want.
It works.
Right, I want the
Chris heard hello. Rise Up heard hello. We heard hello.
wherever you want.
It works.
Right, I want the
So there you have it, another professional investigation by Rise Up Paranormal. Now let's take a look at a preview of the next episode of The Paranormal Truth.
Yes. That was my foot.
What is that?
Now it sounds like somebody's coming up the stairs.
What the hell?
Hello? Hello?
Are you freaking serious?
Thanks for watching Rise Up Paranormal's investigation of the Assembly Theater in Harrisville, Rhode Island. I'm Dan Ginden, and I've been seeking out the paranormal truth.